Ngayon na natapos na ang FIBA World Cup Asian Qualifiers, unang dalawang laro against Guam para sa Gilas Pilipinas, we are now going to look forward kung ano ang susunod. Pag-uusapan natin ng mga magiging biggest weapons, literally, ng Gilas Pilipinas going up against Australia and New Zealand. Okay, first of all, pag-usapan muna natin ng bagong salta, si QMB, na I've made a lot of videos so far, kaya medyo, alam mo yun, inintay ko rin muna na medyo humupa. Kasi sunod-sunod na yung video na pinag-uusapan si QMB and baka kasi merong bias from my end. So, I had to wait then. Inantay ko muna na ilang araw na walang basketball sa utak ko, kundi NBA lang. Para pagbalik ko rito sa topic na to and I review it again, I have a fresher perspective and more, leveled. Yun naman ang goal ko rito. Yes, I have biases pero I try my best to be as objective as I can. Yes, a lot of things that I say are subjective, pero I really try my best na maging reasonable and maging voice of reason. I really try my best. Pero anyway, QMB after ng dalawang laro against Guam, very solid naman yung performance niya. Yung numbers medyo left to be desired. Pero actually, hindi nga eh. Para sa, bagong salta and para maging, big man sa triangle offense, I think yung numbers niya naman very impressive. Pero ang importante sa akin kasi yung intangibles, yung hindi nababasa ng stats. Yung paglaban niya sa posisyon, paglaban niya sa offensive rebounds, di ba, he crashes the glass very well, na pag-usapan natin yan. And sa games na to, he did crash the glass very well, averaging 4 offensive rebounds per game. Pero offensively, hindi ko pa ganong nakita yung mga handoff or yung mga triangle post playmaking stuff. Pero that's okay. Essentially, wala pa naman kasi siyang one-man sa team. So we can't really expect him, to be a Christian Stan Hardinger or a Kai Sotto agad. Pero yun, yung sa 2 games na yun, nagtala siya ng mga numero na 7.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. Sa 9.5 rebounds na yun, 4 doon offensive. Yun ay sobrang impressive. Since Gilas kasi, diba, alam naman nating lahat, diba, this is a slow-paced team and mostly attempts nila nasa paint. So, it is nice to finally have a 6'10 guy with long wingspan na athletic and youthful to crash the glass and get second chance points para sa Gilas. Easy second chance points. Diba? Kumbaga kung Gilas team ka na wala kang Kai Sotto, every point matters. And even if may Kai Sotto man, kung let's say for example, QMB, pagbalik ni Kai, second unit, diba, every point counts. And before QMB kasi, it had to be a guy like Japet Aguilar, di ba? Na kailangan involved lagi sa pick and roll or basically useless siya kapag hindi mo siya nilagay sa pick and roll. Or a Junmar na kailangan i-poste kasi kapag hindi, namimigay lang ng points. Pero this time kasi kay QMB, you can have him stand sa opposite post or sa dunker spot. So, kumbaga, low frequency siya. Siya yung tipo ng player na hindi mo na kailangan setan ng play. And ayun, kaya I feel like QMB is a really good addition to this Gilas team kasi he doesn't disrupt what they're trying to do. Plus, he also adds, size, youth, and kumbaga, yun naman ang hiling ng maraming fans, diba? To add younger players and to have someone like QMB, 6'10", long wingspan. In theory, may potential maging Pau Gasol ng opensa na to. Or even an Andrew Bynum, diba? Kung si Kai Sotto yung Pau Gasol. That's not bad. That's actually, a really good addition to this team. Pero again, we all know, itong Gilas team na to is Kai Sotto's team. Hindi naman sikreto yon. Alam naman ng lahat na yung laro ng Gilas before ma-injury si Kai, ibang-iba talaga. And nung naglalaro pa si Kai, wala ka masyadong makitang negative feedback from the fans. Actually, highly regarded pa nga sila nun. Kasi the team looked great. And they faced decent opponents nung panahon na yun, nung healthy pa si Kai. Pero yung Gilas team, looked better. And ibang-iba talaga, night and day talaga. Kumbaga, yung flow ng offense nila with Kai Sotto looked very different compared sa ngayon. And I can sense na hindi nila tinatry i-replicate kasi iba talaga yung skill set ng isang Kai. So, iba talaga yung itsura ng Gilas team right now. Pero I hope, di ba, makabalik na si Kai. Pero personally, iba yung standard ko sa team na to with Kai. And kapag wala si Kai. Pero adding QMB to the mix, I'm not saying na QMB is a Kai, pero he adds another layer sa kung anong gusto nilang gawin as a team. Kasi ngayon, di ba, medyo kompleto na yung front court rotation ng Gilas. Whether they want to go big or small or sakto lang, maybe have, Carl Tamayo off the bench as the power forward is going to score a lot of points if Team Cone, hindi ilabas si Carl after one bad shot. Pero anyway, ang gusto ko lang sabihin na ngayon, adding QMB sa already existing roster nila with Kai Sotto sa reserve, AJ Edu, Carl Tamayo, and maybe Junmar as the, veteran third stringer big for this team. Kompleto yung options nila. Kumbaga, if you want to go small, you can have Edu at the 5, Brownlee at the 4, or maybe QMB at the 5. If you want to go big, maybe QMB tsaka Edu, 5 and 4. Maybe Junmar Fajardo and Edu. And then pagbalik ni Kai Sotto, if you really want to go big, diba? You can have Edu and Kai, or QMB and Kai. Maybe they're missing one more power forward to the mix. Pero right now, it's looking really good. Yung front court nila. And isa sa mga yon, sa mga nasabi kong pangalan, ay si AJ Edu na siya yung naging malaking factor sa Asia Cup alongside KQ. Sila yung parang youth movement nila nun. And bago pumasok sa QMB sa picture, Edu looked like the second best big sa team na to after Kai Sotto. Pero ngayon with QMB, medyo reduced role si AJ Edu, and I think that is a good thing. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, merong quality big man of the bench with AJ Edu. Depende na lang kung sino mag-start sa kanila ni QMB. I think interchangeable naman sila once Kai comes back. Pero for AJ Edu sa window against Guam, he played roughly around 15 minutes in which he averaged 6 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. Ang stat to track dito for me ay yung 3.5 or 3.5 offensive rebounds per game. If you add that sa apat ni QMB per game sa window na to, silang dalawa, they averaged 7.5 offensive rebounds combined, which is crazy. Kumbaga kung yung, let's just say, 8 na offensive rebounds, yung apat doon ma-convert into putbacks, ilang points kagad yun, diba? 8 points. And going up against Australia and New Zealand na kind of unfair, pero at the same time, it is a good thing to face these teams kasi it will push for growth, diba? Kung hindi naman Australia, New Zealand ka-window natin, baka hindi naman nila ipaglaban si QMB, diba? And having two bigs na makikipaglaban sa ilalim and backs out, fight for possession, block shots, and do the dirty work would be very important pagbalik ni Kai Sotto. Kasi this allows Kai to focus more on the offensive end and making sure the offense runs, which is yun naman yung talagang biggest addition ng isang Kai Sotto sa team na to. Kasi before his injury, si Kai yung naging main hub ng offense ng Gilas. Sa Asia Cup qualifiers, he played roughly 25 minutes kung saan nag-average siya na 15.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game. Only 2.8 offensive rebounds, hindi naman siguro only, pero 2.8 offensive rebounds, pero that's to be expected kasi siya yung main hub ng offense. You can expect him to, fight for offensive rebounds as well. Sobrang dami mo nang hinihingi for a guy like Kai Sotto. Pero yung assist niya, 3.8. Okay na yon for me. And could be better. Kasi may games na halos to may triple-double watch pa nga siya. I remember. And yun, having Edu and QMB to the mix alongside with Kai Sotto, diba? Pwedeng sila yung mag-focus sa dirty work and let Kai Sotto be Kai Sotto. And si QMB and Edu naman are not bad defenders. They have length and try hard enough naman sila to not be a complete liability sa defensive end. So, once na yung pace ng game mag-settle sa half court, diba? Hindi naman talaga sobrang magmamatter if they run two bigs kasi yung tatlong bigs naman na yun sa rotation nila are all very capable unlike the older ones sa team. And speaking of their World Cup chances, ngayon na napag-usapan natin yung Australia and New Zealand briefly. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung group ng Pilipinas sa World Cup Asian qualifiers, Pilipinas lang yung Asian team. And wala na tayong magagawa dyan. Pero it makes so much sense na nagbabank yung Gila sa size nila kasi it makes their system na unfortunately we can expect to change. It would be very unrealistic. Kumbaga yun yung ideal ko na gusto mangyari na triangle pa din pero kagaya nung Ginebra against Bay Area. Yung triangle pero may halong ibang stuff. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin sa portion na to ng video na right now, ang biggest strength ng Filipino talent sa basketball, in my opinion, yung bigs. It's crazy to say that kasi parang ilang years ago, walang bigs ang Pilipinas. Parang it would be best if they maximize the triangle. And ano ba ang kailangan ng triangle to be very effective? Having a lot of quality bigs. And right now, they have 3, maybe 4 if we add Junmar to the mix. 3.5 siguro. At this point, we cannot expect Coach Tim Cone to become Eric Spoelstra. So why not we just give Coach Tim Cone lahat ng tools, lahat ng players na kailangan niya to maximize his system para ma-unlock. So yun, masyado nang mahaba tong video na to. Puro, ang dami kong sinabi. Pero my opinion might change pa naman in the future. Tao lang din naman ako. Hindi naman masama na mag-iba ang opinion kasi, as a fan, gano'n naman talaga, hindi naman absolute ang mundo. And sometimes, di ba, nagbabago din ang point of view natin. Sometimes drastically. Pero right now, the fact na they have 3 quality bigs, papunta ng Pebrero at Marso, I think it's a good sign. They just have to lock in, They have to realize na they're only missing a couple of pieces to make this thing work. And magiging magandang barometer yung February-March window na yan to see kung ano pa ang kailangan nila. Kasi right now, in terms of front court, it's looking like parang medyo set na sila.